All we need to find out is, why do these FBAs just go back on everything they say as long as they're gonna get some benefit out of it personally? All this staying on code stuff, it doesn't apply to the leaders of FBA as long as they think that they can get some money out of a situation. So we've got Tariq Nasheed, okay? He said that Vladtv was a culture vulture. He said that DJ Academics is a tether. And he said that Adam 22 was a culture vulture. And you know what he did after saying these things about all three of these people? He ran to their shows to try and push some of whatever he was selling at the time, be it a documentary or just to sit down, just to be around them. After he called them culture vultures, and especially DJ Academics he called a tether. But then Godfrey, he stood tall after the whole Vladtv incident, and he still gets called a tether. But you know who isn't getting called out? Lord Jamar. After Lord Jamar called Godfrey a tether, what did Lord Jamar do? He ran back to Vladtv. I mean, he said, "Hey, Godfrey's a tether. He's gonna run back to Vlad." Godfrey has stood tall till this day. Lord Jamar ran right back to Vladtv. Yeah, some of the comments in the comments section on the first video said a few things about him, made fun of him, but the second video is on, all the comments stopped, and everything was hunky-dory. Because these FBAs, they're not principled people, deep down. Look at Corey Holcomb. He called Vlad a culture vulture, had all this shit to say about him. Then as soon as Aries Spears, wasn't his fellow FBA, wasn't allowed back on the show, what did Corey do? He saw an opening and he ran there as soon as he could. He even advertised himself. He literally pulled down his trousers and advertised himself for Vlad, shamelessly. Said, "Oh, I see Aries isn't on there. Maybe you need to get me on the show, Vlad. Then you can come on my show. We can do something together." So what's with this FBA solidarity? How come when it comes to these FBAs with any celebrity status, even though it's quite small, all of them, how come they don't utilize this status of theirs to do something beneficial for their FBA movement? The only time they do anything beneficial is if they're going to reap the biggest benefit financially or with clout in some way. So what's all this standing on FBA bidness that you guys talk about, B1 and all this crap? Notice how it all just goes out the window as soon as they see something that's going to benefit them financially. But then again, the whole movement's all about benefiting someone financially. You've got the people at the top, the content creators. Tariq Nasheed is head honcho. It's his movement, he created it. He's got the trademark. And he does what's good for him financially. He'll make his silly videos in which he'll even get people to call in and do fake African accents so he can pretend that he's speaking to an African. He'll make sure that some of these Africans, they go through all of his talking points. They'll say something like, Tariq, we all look the same. We Africans and Black Americans, we look the same. Any of his talking points, he'll say, yeah, make sure you say this as well. Then he can talk about, and then he can crack jokes saying, "Oh, we don't look all the same, nigga. Wait, you know all this bullshit." And some of you guys fall for this crap. I mean, the reason I'm even bringing this up is because I saw this Chick Smooth video with Nori and Vlad. They've had a falling out. And someone on here said that Chigs, the guy who makes the video, is caping for Vlad. And I said, I bet you someone's going to say something about Chigs not being an FBA. And yep, I saw it. He a tether, they love the white man. So I pose this question here. Because no one loves the white man as much as FBA do. All their videos, everything they really do, it's tailor-made just for attention, mostly from white people, because they want white people to see that they're different. That they're somehow better in some way. Because it's all about jealousy. That's all it is. That's all this FBA nonsense is about. They're trying to cozy up under the bed of white nationalism to say, hey man, We might be a different color to you, but we want the same thing. We want a great America with just us and you, Mr. White Man. That's all it is. So no one loves a white man more than the group of people who have been with them for centuries, who are even named after all of them. The group of people that are enjoying the infrastructure that their white zaddy made for them. Because no FBA owns any of the infrastructure in America, and that's because FBAs didn't create any of the infrastructure in America. They're just enjoying it, and then they're using that same infrastructure that they didn't create to brag about and say, oh, y'all don't have this. And well, yeah, you didn't create it. But actually, a lot of any infrastructure in Africa and all these other countries, yes, it was the Africans that created it. It's the Africans that own it, unlike yourselves. But yeah, all this FBA nonsense. Godfrey shot himself in the foot by trying to have any solidarity with these people, because these people will throw him under the bus as soon as it's convenient for them, because they just want to be under their white zaddy themselves. So every time they talk about Africans being tethers, really these FBAs are the biggest tethers going. In fact, a lot of white people even call FBAs, they call them barnacles, because every accomplishment and everything that white people build, FBAs will come running along saying, oh, we had something to do with that, because they want to be part of everything. A conversation can't be had on any subject on this planet without some FBA trying to say that they had something to do with it. I remember when Russia showed off their Oreshnik missiles and the world was in awe, like, oh wow, this is amazing. There was even an FBA saying, it was an FBA scientist that had something to do with it. And that was the biggest lie going. These people will do anything to crowbar themselves into the conversations and pretend that it's all about them. They did everything, and it's quite pathetic. But anyway, I just want this to be an eye-opener for all these black immigrants out there. These FBAs, all this B1 and Black First, all this bullshit that they talk about, that's all it is bullshit. All that bullshit that they talk about and how it's all about FBA business, standing on business, I say business because that's how they talk. It's all bullshit. They're just a bunch of selfish people, immature people, uneducated people with no principles and no real morals. They'll just go with the wind on anything. They don't plan for the future, and that's why their lives are in turmoil. And they're miserable, and they're just trying to drag as many other people into their misery as possible. And because they can't just drag you into their misery in real life, because you just ignore them, or they're scared of any physical confrontation in real life, what they do is they come online and they just harass and bother people to try and force them into debate and arguments, in which they're not even having good faith arguments or debates. They just want to get an excuse to try and call you names and just say stupid things to you. Anyway, bye.